let us say good day to you this day of your time. Welcome to this transmission, which is titled Echoes of Sedona. We understand that some of the information that was delivered in the transmission in Sedona has caused quite a stir in your reality. To some degree, this was the intention, to stir the pot. But allow us to explain a little bit more clearly. First of all, there was a lot of speculation about why what was said was said. We will assure all of you that it came from us. It did not come from the channel. For those who would know the channel, you would know that the channel never would have said what we said, especially not in public. The idea is to understand that what was said was a response to a question that was asked about the energies associated with the choices you had before you. And the idea to pay attention to is the reactions that occurred. A couple of which were when the announcement was made, when the information was delivered, several people were surprised in a variety of ways, and some took it upon themselves to think, well, Bashar must be wrong. Or, Bashar has gone off the rails. Or, oh, the channel must be interfering with Bashar's message somehow. This cannot be Bashar. It is fascinating to note that for all the time that many people have been absorbing and receiving information from us on a variety of subjects, that as soon, no matter how long that's been, as soon as they have heard something that seems contrary to what they believe, suddenly the immediate reaction or assumption is that something must be wrong with the delivery, something must be interfering with the delivery, instead of a more balanced reaction of, well, that's interesting. I wonder why that was said that way. Or, is it possible that this may mean something other than what I think? Or even, in your vernacular, as you say often, God forbid, I might actually be wrong in my beliefs. The idea is, of course, you can believe what you want. It is up to you. We are just observing the reactions and the idea that it gives us and the information that it gives us with regard to how ready people are for contact, how ready people are to be in a balanced state rather than thrown off balance. The idea also is that the information was simply an observation. Remember, we are not giving you an opinion. We are telling you what we see. When we answer a question, we are looking at the information embedded within the structure of space-time and simply reporting what it is we observe. As with anything, the information that we receive is of the moment and in the present, and as we have said, not a prediction, but simply a recognition of where the energy is at that moment it is delivered. Again, not an opinion, but an observation. Again, many may disagree with this observation, but it doesn't change the fact that that's what is embedded in the fabric of space-time. Also, the idea of delivering the information in that way, unusual as it was, we will admit, was the product of conferring with many other beings to make sure that the information was appropriate to deliver at that time. And again, for a variety of reasons. One of which was to accelerate the splitting of the prism that is going on in your reality, because several of the reactions to the information we delivered caused an acceleration in moving in whatever direction you had chosen to move. In other words, the statement ensured that the train tracks leaving the station would get farther apart, to accelerate the idea of the splitting and to bring about the idea of the evolution of humanity in a particular way, so that contact could occur in whatever way it needs to. The idea of saying that the feminine would lead to contact could have been said just that simply. The feminine would lead to contact. Or we could have said the feminine would lead to contact, the male would not, instead of the full delivery of what we had said. However, that wouldn't have been absolutely accurate. Both directions, in some way, shape, or form, will lead to contact. But it is the nature of that contact, the style of the contact, and the reason for the contact that will change according to which direction all of you decided to choose. We will be conferring, based on the outcome you have chosen, with many councils in our interstellar alliance, in order to determine what is now the most appropriate way for contact to occur. It will have shifted a little bit based on your choices, but it will occur. It is, in fact, at this point in your timelines, inevitable. We have said that it will occur within the next 5 of your years. This may still hold true. The idea is that there still can be a major event sometime in your late 2026, early 2027, that will begin this process. Again, not necessarily saying exactly the nature of this event or the causation of it. But like anything in creation, you will experience it in whatever way you have created your reality to be based on, whether out of love or out of fear. Not saying that the contact itself will in any way, shape, or form be fearful, but that the style of the contact may take its cue from whatever energy exists at the time in which it occurs. This will be the reason for much consultation, discussion, conferencing among us, so that we may determine the absolute correct timing, the absolute nature and style of the contact that will serve humanity best. But I do, in fact, repeat, it will be for the benefit and service of humanity, no matter how it is brought about, no matter what style it may appear in, no matter what course it may need to take, based on conditions that exist at the moment we determine that the timing of contact is appropriate. We encourage all of you to remain in a positive state, no matter what your belief system. And we will again reiterate that the idea of what we said is based not on necessarily actual physical individuals, but the idea of the qualities of feminine energy and masculine energy as they exist on your planet at this time. To take stock of either energy and to understand the importance and value of balancing that energy within you, so that the style of contact can be one that would be more completely representative of the idea of acceptance, of love, connection, and not necessarily of experiences that have to do with fear or disconnection or negativity in any way. Again, it will be for the service of humanity in the style in which it occurs. But we will, at the same time, remind you that we always have a reason for saying what is said, for delivering the information that is allowed to be delivered. There is always a purpose to it, even though you may not always be privy to that purpose. There are many things going on behind the scenes on your planet, some positive, some negative. Allow yourselves, without dissolving into conspiracy theories, as we have outlined in Step 1 of the Interstellar Alliance social experiment, but allow yourselves to understand there are many things going on behind the scenes. You have or are about to enter a new age on your planet, a new age of ideas of control, ideas of power, ideas of oversight, ideas that may bring about what appears to be a relatively peaceful world, though it may not necessarily be for the reasons that you think. Until such time as contact occurs to illuminate what is actually going on your planet behind the scenes, and to bring about a new understanding that will, at that moment, allow humanity to truly decide what direction it wishes to go in, how it wishes to evolve in the future, and how it can finally give up the illusion of power and focus on the power of the illusion. There are many things that are occurring and many ways in which we will communicate this idea in upcoming transmissions, revealing a bit more each time, and also more of how you can, in your own energy, remain in a balanced and positive state. For do remember, as we have always said, it's not about what happens as much as it is about what you do with what happens that determines how you experience your reality. There are some who will, in the upcoming times, in the upcoming days, weeks, months, find that what they thought was true is not so much. So we encourage everyone to remain in a balanced state, no matter what you believed to be true before, for there will be a new truth, a new understanding when contact occurs that will be revealed to you to allow you to open your eyes and see clearly for the first time in a long time how you have arrived at where you have arrived and where you can go from here should you decide to choose the path that is offered to you from your galactic family. All of this is said with the deepest love and appreciation and gratitude, and a reminder that Earth is a tough school. But despite all of that, It is a play that you are acting out on a stage, and regardless of who you may label, a hero or a villain, remember that you are all actors, and that once the play is over and you allow yourself to come from your soul center, you all recognize that you all simply chose to play a part that would allow for certain challenges to be faced and changes to be made that would thrust you into the future in a positive evolutionary path that will benefit all of humanity one way or another. And that the divisiveness that you now experience will become the very grounded foundation of the unity that you will create in the near future, in the days and years to come. So watch your definitions and understand that, just like the actors in a play, no matter who is playing the hero, no matter who is playing the villain in anyone's eyes, when the play is done, all the actors will get together, give up those identities, and truly settle down to share a meal as colleagues, as friends, as family. Unity is inevitable, but only through the validation of the differences in positive ways will that occur. We will remind you of this over and over again. And the ultimate reminder will be when we are face to face with you in the near future, at the time of contact, which is now, depending on style and regardless of style, inevitable. For you have crossed a threshold, you have tipped the scales, and it is on the horizon. We thank you for allowing us to share this clarification with you. Please take it in the spirit in which it is intended, and understand again, we always have a purpose and a reason for the information we deliver to all of you, though you may not always be privy to that reason right away. A lot of this is a test. A lot of this is a measure. A lot of this is to let us know what you are ready for and what you are not. For again, there are only very few circumstances in which we will intervene. But should those circumstances arise, we will be among you to make sure, first and foremost, that the unique school that is the earth will survive. For that is our priority.